Hi everyone. So today I'm going to speak on two topics. One is what do I see when I invest in startups, and the second is what are the mistakes made by entrepreneurs. So let's first address to what do I see when I invest in startups. So usually when I have a meeting with the companies that I'm planning to invest in, I usually ask them to get two things. One is a business plan and the other is a PDF. We all know what a business plan is, uh, which talks basically about your 5 years P&L, your assumptions, your cost structure, your revenue, etc. We also know what PDF is, right? So I don't ask for the Adobe PDF, but the other one, which is perseverance, discipline, and focus. So the PDF that I look for is P stands for perseverance, D stands for discipline, F stands for focus. Let me spend a minute in explaining each one of them and why I lay so much of emphasis on these three. So, when I say perseverance, we have seen multiple examples. For instance, we have seen Colonel Sanders, who at the age of 63, 65. So, Colonel Sanders is the person who started KFC. So, he at the age of 63, 65 knocked more than 1009 doors before he achieved success. We know of Thomas Edison, who had failed 10,000 times before he could get electricity to this world. Likewise, an entrepreneur should be perseverant enough to ensure that he can achieve his goal and not give up too quickly. So, perseverance is something that I lay too much of emphasis upon, along with discipline and focus. So, when I say about discipline, uh, many a time I've seen when startups get their first check from the investor, they behave uh, like a college student who has received his first salary and he wants to blow up the entire money. That's not the right approach. In fact, when as an investor one puts money into a startup, we are impressed by the way he maintains frugality and gets optimum output. When the money is given, we don't expect the startup to start blowing it, but use that money wisely. Wisely to ensure the company scales up in the right direction. So that's pretty important. The third is to have laser sharp focus. So we all have seen Mahabharat, right? Sometime or the other in our life. In Mahabharat, there was an episode where Dronacharya was training the Kauravas and Pandavas and teaching them archery. At that point of time, he calls in Duryodhan and he asks him, "What all can you see?" He says, "I can see a bird in the air, I can see the bird sitting on a branch, I can see some clouds on the background." He says, "Okay, fine, you move aside." He calls in Yudhishthir. He says, "What all can you see?" He says that I can see the bird's eye, the bird's face. He says, "Okay, you move aside." He calls in Arjun. He asks him, "What all can you see?" He says, "I can see the bird's eye." He again asks him, "What all can you see?" He says, "I can see only the bird's eye." Like, shoot, and hits the bird's eye. And we all know that he was one of the best archers of his time. What I'm trying to say is, entrepreneurs should have this kind of a laser sharp focus, because many a time what happens is when entrepreneurs are on their journey, they keep getting a lot of other opportunities which they feel they should grab into, but in the bargain they actually miss out on the goal. So many a time it is prudent to let those distractions go away, lose out some opportunities, but be focused on your main goal, because that is much larger than the small opportunities that are knocking your door. So for me, I give 30% emphasis on the business plan, on the market, uh, on the market of the business, on the revenue model, etc., etc. My 70% focus is on the entrepreneur and the team, and hence having perseverance, discipline, and focus is pretty important. And I have my ways to test that. So I ensure that PDF is in place, which is the perseverance, discipline, and focus before I invest into any company or a startup. Now moving to what are some of the common mistakes that entrepreneurs make. So one of them is a lot of entrepreneurs feel that they have a solution to a problem, or they have built a solution in advance and they've not found the problem yet. So what they do is they start building the solution and start marketing that to the clients without realizing that there isn't such a major problem they're trying to solve. In fact, when you start your entrepreneurship journey, the first step should be on first identifying the problem, understanding the pain of the problem, and then creating a solution for the problem. But nowadays, since entrepreneurship has become a fad, a lot of people first create the solution and then hunt for the problem. So that is one mistake that they should avoid. The other is, if they figure out a problem, they figure out a solution, they just get in the market and start distributing the product or the service. What they actually need to do is do a market survey and figure out, is there the problem painful enough to find a solution? Is your solution good enough to solve that problem? Is the pricing that you're giving to your customers, is the pricing that they're looking out for? Are the features that you are offering them, aren't they too much for them to feel confused, or are they too less to not even cover the basic problem points? So what entrepreneurs or startups need to do is focus on doing a proper market survey before coming out with the solution and distributing the product or their service. The third point that I see a lot of entrepreneurs make a mistake is in finding the right team. Many a time they just pick up people who are inexpensive, who are their good friends, who just say yes to them. That's not the way to pick up a team. The way to pick up a team is you need to understand their soft skills first than their quality part. So a qualitative analysis is more important in getting a team on board. For instance, you need to see if your team players as motivated, as passionate, as disciplined, as perseverant, as focused as you are. If yes, then take them on board. Teaching them skills is much easier, but teaching them soft skills is much tougher. So ensure that they have the right attitude and the aptitude can be built upon. Last but not the least, what also a lot of entrepreneurs miss out is in drafting a strong co-founder agreement. If your business is not doing well, it's fine. If it's doing okay, it's still fine. But if your business is doing super, that's where the problems arise, because then the co-founders want to take up the entire credit for the work that's happened. So many a time we have seen that a lot of companies have shut down shops just because the co-founders had a disagreement and they didn't have a proper co-founder agreement in place, which talks about the roles, responsibilities of each and every co-founder in the company. Because many a time what happens is, if one co-founder is building the technology, the other is building the marketing, and if you suddenly see that the company has grown 500 times than it's supposed to grow, both of them want to take the credibility for building it. Both of them want to say that they have made the company. They both want to take the entire credit. Both of them want to be the spokesperson, and in the bargain they have a split and the company shuts shop, because the company has been used to running on two wheels. In this case, the example that I'm stating, sometimes four wheels. But even if out of the two wheels one wheel is gone, or out of the four wheels if two wheels are gone or three wheels are gone, the company can't sustain. So hence drafting a strong co-founder agreement is equally important. So yes, that's it from my side. Thank you. Take care.